Let me take you on a journey about a truth as old as time itself, yet often forgotten or overlooked in the hustle and bustle of our daily lives. It's about the simple yet profound realization that you can't please everyone. Now imagine a world where every single person agreed with everything you said, did, or thought. At first, it might sound like a pleasant dream, a life without conflict or disagreement, a smooth path paved with constant approval. But as you delve deeper into this fantasy, you begin to see its cracks. It's like a garden where every flower is the same color and shape. Initially pleasing, yet soon, its monotony becomes stifling, its beauty superficial. Throughout history, there have been many who have sought this universal approval. Kings and paupers, scholars and fools, all have fallen into the trap of believing that pleasing everyone is not just possible, but desirable. But here's the twist in the tale. Not only is pleasing everyone an unattainable goal, but it's also not something we should aspire to. The pursuit of universal approval is like chasing a mirage. It's an illusion that leads us away from our true selves, from our unique paths and destinies. Why do we seek to please everyone? It's partly our nature. We are social beings, hardwired to seek connections and approval. From our earliest days, we learn that pleasing others can bring rewards. A smile from a parent, praise from a teacher, acceptance from peers. But as we grow, as we learn and experience the diverse tapestry of life, we begin to understand that the world is a kaleidoscope of opinions, thoughts, and beliefs. And in this kaleidoscope, it's impossible for any one pattern to please every viewer. Think about the people you admire, those who have made a mark in history, or even those in your personal life whose presence is like a lighthouse in the stormy sea of daily living. Were they people who tried to please everyone? No, they were individuals who understood and accepted that not everyone would agree with them, like them, or approve of them. And yet, they stood firm, anchored by their values, beliefs, and a deep understanding of who they were and what they stood for. The key to understanding this lies in a simple shift of perspective. Instead of looking outward for approval, we start looking inward. We begin to ask ourselves, what do I believe in? What are my values? What makes me me? When we start answering these questions, we realize that our uniqueness is not a flaw that needs to be hidden or changed to fit into different modes. It's a strength, a beacon that guides us through the complexities of life. This journey of self-realization isn't easy. It's fraught with challenges, doubts, and sometimes loneliness. But remember, a path with no obstacles probably doesn't lead anywhere worthwhile. There will be moments when you'll feel the urge to conform, to change your thoughts or actions for the sake of pleasing others. It's in these moments that your true strength will be tested. Will you bend like a reed to every passing wind? Or will you stand tall like an oak, grounded in the knowledge of who you are? In this journey, you'll also discover the beauty of genuine connections. When you're true to yourself, you attract people who appreciate you for who you are, not for who they want you to be. These connections, forged in the fire of authenticity, are the ones that endure, that add real value to our lives. As we embark on this exploration together, remember, the goal is not to become indifferent to others' thoughts or feelings. It's about finding a balance where you can listen to others, empathize with them, learn from them, but ultimately make choices that align with your inner compass. So, let's start this journey together, a journey towards understanding, towards self-realization, towards a life where the approval we seek first and foremost is our own. It's a journey not just of self-discovery, but of liberation. Liberation from the chains of trying to please everyone. A liberation that leads to a life of authenticity, purpose, and true fulfillment. And as we move forward, remember, it's not about pleasing everyone. It's about being true to yourself, and in doing so, finding your place in this vast, wonderful tapestry of life. Let's delve deeper into this concept, the myth of universal approval. It's a myth as old as time, woven into the very fabric of our society, yet as elusive as the horizon. This myth is the belief that it's possible and even necessary to win the approval of everyone around us. But let me tell you, this belief is not just a harmless fairy tale. It's a trap that can lead us away from our true potential and happiness. Why do we buy into this myth? It starts early in our lives. As children, we're taught to be agreeable, to conform to social norms, to seek approval. This isn't inherently wrong. It's part of learning to live in a community. But as we grow, we often don't transition from this childlike desire for approval to a more mature understanding of our individuality. We carry this need for approval into adulthood, dressing it up as ambition, social conformity, or the pursuit of success. But here's the catch. In our quest to please everyone, we often end up pleasing no one, least of all ourselves. The more we try to mold ourselves into what we think others want, the more we lose our essence, our individuality. We become like chameleons, constantly changing colors to suit our surroundings. But in doing so, we forget our true colors. Think about it. Have you ever known anyone who managed to please everyone, even the most beloved figures in history? Those who made the most significant contributions to humanity face criticism and opposition. It's a universal truth. No matter what you do, how well you do it, or how noble your intentions, there will always be someone who disagrees, who disapproves, or who simply doesn't care. The pursuit of universal approval is like trying to fill a sieve with water. No matter how much water you pour, it will never be full. This endless chase can lead to exhaustion, frustration, and a sense of inadequacy. It can make us compromise our values, silence our voice, and abandon our dreams. The irony is that in trying to be everything to everyone, we often end up being nothing to ourselves. Now, this doesn't mean we should become indifferent to the feelings or opinions of others. It's not about disregarding the value of feedback or the importance of empathy and cooperation. What it's about is discernment, the ability to distinguish between constructive, helpful feedback and criticism that stems from others' prejudices, insecurities, or expectations that don't align with our values. Let's take a moment to consider the power of acceptance. Acceptance of the fact that we can't please everyone frees us from an impossible burden. It allows us to focus on what truly matters, living a life that is in harmony with our values, beliefs, and dreams. When we accept this truth, we open ourselves to a life of authenticity, where our actions and choices are guided by our inner compass, not by an endless quest for external validation. This path of authenticity isn't always easy. It requires courage, resilience, and the willingness to stand alone at times. But it's also a path of profound freedom and fulfillment. When you're true to yourself, you attract people who respect and value you for who you are, not for who they want you to be. You build relationships based on genuine understanding and mutual respect. You create a life that is not just successful in the conventional sense, but also deeply satisfying and meaningful. So, as we journey through life, let's challenge this myth of universal approval. Let's replace it with a new narrative, a narrative of authenticity, self-respect, and genuine connections. Let's embrace the diversity of opinions and perspectives, understanding that disagreement and disapproval are not just inevitable, but also valuable. They challenge us to think deeply, to grow, and to strengthen our conviction. Now, let's explore a vital piece of this puzzle, understanding individual differences. This is a journey into the heart of human diversity, a celebration of the myriad ways in which we, as unique individuals, express ourselves, think, and experience the world. Imagine a tapestry vast and vibrant. Each thread in this tapestry represents a person with their own set of beliefs, experiences, and perspectives. Just like no two threads are exactly alike, no two people are the same. This diversity is not just inevitable. It is what makes the tapestry so captivating. It's the variety of colors, textures, and patterns that give it depth and beauty. In much the same way, it's our individual differences that enrich our lives and our societies. Why then do we often find these differences challenging? Why is there a temptation to seek conformity, to shy away from what's different or unfamiliar? It's partly because, as humans, we are naturally drawn to what's similar to us. It feels safer, more predictable. But when we only surround ourselves with similarity, we limit our growth, our understanding, and our ability to connect with the wider world. We risk living in an echo chamber where the only voices we hear are echoes of our own. Embracing diversity, on the other hand, opens us up to new ideas, new experiences, and new ways of seeing the world. It challenges us to grow, to question our assumptions, and to develop empathy and understanding. It's not always comfortable. In fact, it often requires us to step out of our comfort zones, but the rewards are immense. By appreciating and learning from our differences, we become more well-rounded, more adaptable, and more connected. Think about the people you admire, the artists, the leaders, the innovators. What sets them apart? It's often their ability to see things differently, to challenge the status quo, to bring a unique perspective to their work and their lives. They didn't achieve greatness by conforming to a mold. They achieved it by embracing and expressing their individuality. Now let's consider how this applies to our own lives. Each of us has a unique combination of talents, experiences, and perspectives. When we try to downplay these differences to fit in or to please others, we do a disservice not just to ourselves, but to the world. We deprive the world of our unique contributions, our unique voice. It's like taking a color out of a tapestry. The overall picture loses something irreplaceable. But when we embrace our individuality, when we value the differences in others, we create a richer, more diverse, and more creative society. We build connections that are based on genuine understanding and respect, not on conformity. We create an environment where innovation and creativity can flourish. It's important to note that embracing diversity doesn't mean agreeing with everyone or accepting every viewpoint. It means recognizing the right of each person to have their own opinions and beliefs, even if they differ from ours. It means engaging with these differences in a respectful and open-minded way, seeking to understand rather than to judge. This approach also requires us to be confident in our own values and beliefs. It's about being secure enough in ourselves that we can be open to others' perspectives without feeling threatened. It's about finding the balance between holding firm to our principles and being flexible enough to learn and grow. In practice, this means listening more than we speak, asking questions instead of making assumptions, and being willing to change our minds when presented with new information. It means looking for common ground, even in the midst of disagreement, and focusing on what unites us rather than what divides us. As we move forward in our journey, let's embrace the beauty of our differences. Let's celebrate the diversity of thoughts, experiences, and perspectives that each person brings to the table. Let's recognize that it's this diversity that makes us stronger, more resilient, and more vibrant as a community. In this part of our journey, let's turn our focus to a fundamental cornerstone of personal fulfillment and success, the power of authenticity. In a world where the pressure to conform and please others is ever present, embracing authenticity is akin to finding a rare jewel. It's precious, unique, and profoundly impactful. Authenticity, what does it mean? It's about being genuine, true to yourself, and consistent in your actions and beliefs, irrespective of external pressures or expectations. It's about removing the masks we often wear, not just in front of others, but the ones we sometimes wear even in front of ourselves. Authenticity requires courage, the courage to stand by your values, beliefs, and experiences, even when it's uncomfortable or unpopular. The strength in authenticity lies in its ability to foster genuine connections and opportunities. When you're authentic, you attract people and situations that resonate with your true self. These connections are deeper, more meaningful, and far more fulfilling than those built on pretense or superficiality. Authentic people often inspire trust and admiration, not because they are perfect, but because they are real and relatable. But why is authenticity so powerful? Imagine living a life where every choice, every action is aligned with your deepest values and beliefs. This alignment creates a sense of harmony and integrity. It means that your energy is not wasted on maintaining a facade, but is instead focused on pursuing your goals and passions. This congruence between your inner and outer self is the essence of authenticity, and it's incredibly liberating. Consider the people who have left a lasting impact on you. Chances are they were individuals who were true to themselves. Their authenticity shone through in their words, their actions, and their presence. They didn't try to be someone else. They embraced their uniqueness, and in doing so, gave others the permission to do the same. Let's delve into some personal anecdotes to illustrate this. Think of a time when you met someone who was genuinely themselves, someone who didn't try to impress or conform, but was comfortably and unapologetically themselves. How did that make you feel? Often, such encounters leave us feeling inspired and uplifted. They remind us of the value of being true to ourselves, of the beauty of authenticity. Embracing authenticity isn't always easy. It can mean going against the grain, facing criticism, and sometimes feeling isolated. But the rewards far outweigh the challenges. When you're authentic, you create a life that is not only successful in the traditional sense, but also deeply satisfying. You live a life where your relationships, career, and personal growth are all in alignment with who you truly are. Authenticity also means being honest with yourself, acknowledging your strengths and weaknesses, your successes and failures. It's about owning your story, learning from your experiences, and using them to grow and evolve. This self-awareness is a crucial aspect of authenticity. It's not about being perfect. It's about being real. In the professional world, authenticity can be a game changer. When leaders are authentic, they create a culture of trust and openness. They inspire their teams to be their best selves, leading to increased creativity, productivity, and overall satisfaction. In personal relationships, authenticity builds deeper, more genuine connections. When you are true to yourself, you attract people who appreciate and value the real you. But how do we cultivate authenticity? It starts with self-reflection, understanding your values, passions, and purpose. It involves listening to your inner voice and having the courage to follow it. It's about making choices that reflect your true self, not what others expect of you. It also means being vulnerable, allowing yourself to be seen, flaws and all. This vulnerability is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's what connects us as human beings. It's what allows us to build relationships based on empathy and understanding. As we continue on our journey, let's address a critical aspect of personal growth and authenticity: the importance of setting boundaries and learning to say no. In a world that often demands our time, energy, and resources, knowing how to establish healthy boundaries is not just important, it's essential for our well-being and success. Setting boundaries is about understanding and communicating your limits. It's about recognizing what you're willing to accept and what you are not, what you will do and what you won't. This isn't about being rigid or uncooperative. It's about respecting yourself and your needs. When we set boundaries, we create space for our own growth, health, and happiness. Many of us struggle with setting boundaries. We worry about offending others, being seen as selfish, or missing out on opportunities. We might feel guilty for prioritizing our own needs, especially if we're used to putting others first. But here's the truth. Setting boundaries is not selfish. It's self-respect. It's a vital aspect of self-care and personal development. When we fail to set boundaries, we risk burnout, resentment, and a loss of self. We become like a city with no walls, open to every demand, request, and expectation. This can lead to a life where we're constantly reacting to the needs of others rather than proactively pursuing our own goals and aspirations. Learning to say no is an integral part of setting boundaries. It's about having the courage to decline requests or opportunities that don't align with your values, goals, or availability. Saying no isn't easy, especially when we're conditioned to please and accommodate others. But remember, every time you say yes to something that doesn't serve you, you're saying no to something that does, whether that's time for yourself, your family, your health, or your personal growth. Saying no can be done respectfully and kindly. It's not about rejection. It's about making choices that are right for you. When you say no, you're not just protecting your time and energy. You're also being honest and authentic. People respect honesty, and they appreciate knowing where you stand. Setting boundaries and saying no also have positive outcomes for personal and professional growth. When you're clear about your limits, you create an environment where you can do your best work. You're able to focus on what truly matters, bringing more energy and passion to your endeavors. In personal relationships, boundaries foster respect and understanding. They create a foundation for healthy, balanced interactions. So how do we start setting boundaries and saying no? It begins with self-awareness. Understand your values, your priorities, and your limits. Reflect on past experiences. When did you feel overwhelmed, resentful, or drained? These feelings are often signs that your boundaries were crossed. Once you understand your boundaries, communicate them clearly and consistently. This doesn't mean being confrontational. It's about being assertive and respectful. Use clear, straightforward language, and remember, you don't need to justify or apologize for your boundaries. It's also important to be prepared for resistance. Not everyone will like or understand your boundaries, and that's okay. Stay firm and remember that your boundaries are about your needs, not about pleasing others. Remember, setting boundaries is a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice. Start with small steps and gradually build your confidence. Over time, you'll find that setting boundaries becomes easier, and the benefits, increased respect, self-esteem, and a sense of control are well worth the effort. In our exploration of living a fulfilling life, an essential aspect to consider is the balance of compromise. Compromise, often seen as giving something up, is actually a powerful tool for creating harmony and understanding in our lives. It's about finding a middle ground where different needs, desires, and values can coexist in a mutually beneficial way. Compromise is not about losing or surrendering your values. It's about recognizing that in a world of diverse perspectives, finding common ground is not just necessary. It's a skill that enhances our relationships, both personal and professional. Well-struck compromise is a testament to the art of negotiation, understanding, and empathy. But how do we find this balance? It starts with the understanding that while our values and core beliefs are non-negotiable, the way we interact with the world can be flexible. Compromise is not about changing who you are. It's about adapting how you work with others to achieve the best possible outcome for all involved. Consider a negotiation scenario, be it in business, family, or friendship. Each party comes with their own set of expectations and objectives. The art of compromise involves listening actively to understand these objectives, finding commonalities, and then working together to create a solution that respects each party's needs. This process requires patience, open-mindedness, and a willingness to see things from multiple perspectives. Compromise also involves a certain level of creativity. It's about thinking outside the box to find solutions that might not be immediately obvious. It's about moving away from a winner-takes-all mindset to a mindset where everyone can benefit. This approach not only resolves the immediate issue, but also builds a foundation of trust and cooperation for future interaction. But let's be clear, finding the balance of compromise doesn't mean always giving in or being passive. There are times when standing firm is necessary, especially when your core values or principles are at stake. The key is to discern when to hold firm and when to bend. This discernment is a skill that develops over time through experience and reflection. The balance of compromise is also evident in successful leadership. Leaders who master this balance are able to bring together diverse teams, harnessing their different strengths and perspectives to achieve common goals. They understand that leadership is not about imposing their will, but about guiding, facilitating, and sometimes making tough decisions that respect and incorporate the needs of all team members. In personal relationships, the balance of compromise is equally important. It's about finding a way to meet each other's needs while respecting individual preferences and boundaries. It's about working together to create a relationship that is fulfilling and supportive for both parties. This often involves open communication, understanding, and sometimes the willingness to put the other person's needs alongside or even before your own. Compromise, therefore, is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength and maturity. It shows an ability to empathize, to see beyond one's own desires, and to work towards a greater good. It's a key ingredient in building lasting, meaningful relationships and in creating a life that balances personal fulfillment with social harmony. In our ongoing quest for personal growth and fulfillment, one of the most empowering steps we can take is cultivating self-approval. This is about learning to value our own opinion and satisfaction above others, creating an inner sanctuary of confidence and self-respect. Cultivating self-approval begins with understanding that our worth is not determined by external validation. While it's natural to seek recognition and appreciation from others, relying solely on external approval for our sense of self-worth is like building a house on shifting sand. It's unstable and unsustainable. True self-approval comes from within, from an unwavering belief in our own value, irrespective of others' opinions or validation. This journey towards self-approval requires us to shift our focus inward, to engage in a deep and honest conversation with ourselves. It's about asking ourselves fundamental questions. What are my strengths and accomplishments? What makes me uniquely me? By answering these questions, we start to build a foundation of self-knowledge and self-acceptance. Self-acceptance is a crucial part of this process. It means embracing all aspects of ourselves, our strengths and our weaknesses, our successes and our failures. It's about understanding that being imperfect does not make us any less worthy of respect and love, including our own. This acceptance does not mean complacency. Rather, it's a starting point for growth and improvement. Another key aspect of cultivating self-approval is overcoming the need for external validation. This is not an easy task in a world that constantly bombards us with messages about what we should be, do, or have. To counteract this, we need to develop a strong sense of self, a core of beliefs and values that guide our decisions and actions. When we're grounded in who we are, we're less swayed by the opinions and expectations of others. Techniques for self-acceptance and building self-esteem are varied and personal. They can include practices like mindfulness, journaling, positive affirmations, and setting personal goals. These practices help us to focus on our own journey, celebrating our progress and learning from our setbacks. One of the most powerful ways to cultivate self-approval is to set and achieve personal goals. When we set goals that are aligned with our values and passions and then work towards achieving them, we build a sense of competence and accomplishment. This not only boosts our self-esteem, but also reinforces our sense of self-efficacy, the belief in our ability to handle and influence the course of our lives. Cultivating self-approval also means being kind to ourselves. We often extend compassion and understanding to others, but are harsh and critical with ourselves. Learning to treat ourselves with the same kindness and empathy we offer to others is a transformative step in the journey of self-approval. Moreover, self-approval has a ripple effect. When we approve of ourselves, when we're confident and self-assured, it shows in our interactions and relationships. We're more likely to take risks, to put ourselves out there, and to pursue opportunities that align with our true self. We become role models of self-respect and authenticity, inspiring others to embark on their own journey of self-approval. In our journey towards personal growth and fulfillment, an inevitable part of the path is dealing with criticism. How we handle criticism, whether it's constructive feedback or unfounded negativity, can significantly impact our journey. Understanding and managing criticism is not just a skill. It's an art that can propel us toward greater self-awareness and success. This criticism in its constructive form is like a mirror. It reflects our actions and words back to us, providing an opportunity to see ourselves from another perspective. It can be a valuable tool for growth, offering insights and perspectives we may have missed. However, not all criticism is created equal. While some is meant to guide and improve, some can stem from misunderstanding, jealousy, or negativity. The first step in dealing with criticism is to differentiate between constructive and destructive criticism. Constructive criticism is generally offered with good intentions, aimed at helping us improve. It's specific, actionable, and relevant. Destructive criticism, on the other hand, is often vague, hurtful, and motivated by factors unrelated to our personal development. Recognizing the difference between these two types of criticism is crucial in determining how to respond. When faced with constructive criticism, the key is to listen with an open mind. This doesn't mean accepting everything at face value, but rather considering the feedback thoughtfully and objectively. Ask yourself, is there truth in this criticism? Can it help me grow or improve? If the answer is yes, embrace it as a gift, an opportunity to learn and evolve. Dealing with destructive criticism requires a different approach. It's important to remember that such criticism often says more about the critic than it does about you. It can be driven by their own insecurities, biases, or issues. In these cases, the best response is often to acknowledge their opinion, but not let it define or demoralize you. Remember, your self-worth is not determined by the opinions of others. Another important aspect of handling criticism is not to take it personally. This is easier said than done, but it's essential for maintaining our emotional well-being and perspective. Criticism is about our actions or words, not about our inherent worth as individuals. By depersonalizing criticism, we can assess it objectively and decide if and how we want to act on it. Coping strategies are also vital when dealing with criticism. Techniques such as deep breathing, stepping away to reflect, or discussing the feedback with a trusted friend or mentor can help us process criticism in a healthy way. These strategies can prevent knee-jerk reactions and help us respond in a calm and measured manner. Moreover, criticism, especially when it's harsh or unjust, can be a test of our resilience and self-confidence. Each time we face criticism and choose to respond constructively, we build our emotional strength. We learn that we can handle challenges and setbacks, and this knowledge makes us stronger and more resilient. It's also worth considering that sometimes criticism can be a catalyst for change. It can push us out of our comfort zones, challenge us to question our assumptions, and inspire us to pursue new paths or ideas. In this sense, criticism can be a powerful motivator, driving us towards greater achievements and self-discovery. As we forge ahead on this journey of self-discovery and personal growth, let's delve deeper into the essence of what it means to live a truly enriching life. A life where every step, every decision, and every challenge is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become a better version of ourselves. Consider the concept of resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to rise from the ashes of defeat and disappointment. Resilience is not just a trait. It's a skill honed through experiences and the attitude we bring to those experiences. It's about facing life storms, not with fear or resignation, but with determination and a belief that these challenges will make us stronger. But what does it take to build resilience? It starts with a mindset that views challenges as opportunities for growth. It's about adopting a perspective that every difficulty you encounter is a stepping stone towards your personal and professional development. This perspective is not about denying the pain or the struggle. It's about finding meaning and strength in them. Another key element in building resilience is self-awareness. This involves understanding your strengths and weaknesses, your reactions to stress and adversity, and your patterns of thought and behavior. When you know yourself well, you can anticipate and prepare for challenges. And you can also be more forgiving and compassionate towards yourself when things don't go as planned. Building resilience also involves cultivating a support network. This network can include friends, family, mentors, or even professional support. These are the people who provide encouragement, perspective, and wisdom. They're your sounding board, your cheering squad, and sometimes your lifeline. Remember, resilience is not about going through life alone. It's about knowing when to seek help and support and being open to receiving it. Now, let's turn our attention to the pursuit of excellence. Excellence is not about being the best. It's about being your best. It's about setting your own standards and striving to meet them. It's about continuous improvement, not in comparison to others, but in comparison to who you were yesterday. The pursuit of excellence begins with setting goals. These goals should be challenging yet achievable, specific, and aligned with your values and passions. They should excite you, motivate you, and push you out of your comfort zone. But setting goals is just the first step. The real work lies in the discipline, the consistency, and the effort you put into achieving them. It's about showing up every day, ready to work, ready to learn, and ready to take one step closer to your goals. In this pursuit, it's important to embrace the process, not just the outcome. The journey towards excellence is filled with learning, growth, and moments of both triumph and failure. Embrace each of these moments, for they are all integral parts of your journey. Another aspect of the pursuit of excellence is adaptability. The world is constantly changing, and to excel, you need to be able to adapt to new situations, challenges, and opportunities. This adaptability is not about losing your essence or changing your core values. It's about being flexible in your approach and open to new methods, ideas, and perspectives. As we continue on this path, let's also explore the power of gratitude. Gratitude is not just about saying thank you. It's a way of seeing and experiencing the world. It's about recognizing and appreciating the value in everything, the big wins, the small joys, and even the challenges that teach us valuable lessons. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have. It fosters positivity, improves our mood, and enhances our overall well-being. It strengthens our relationships and helps us build resilience. When we practice gratitude, we open ourselves up to more joy, more love, and more abundance. One effective way to cultivate gratitude is through a gratitude journal. Take a few minutes each day to write down what you're thankful for. It could be something as simple as a beautiful sunrise, a kind word from a friend, or a personal achievement. Over time, this practice can shift your mindset, leading to a more positive and fulfilled life. As we embrace gratitude, let's also embrace the power of giving. Giving is not just about material gifts. It's about sharing your time, your knowledge, and your talents. It's about making a positive impact in the lives of others. When we give, we not only enrich the lives of those we help, we enrich our own lives. Giving fosters a sense of connection and community. It reminds us that we are part of something larger than ourselves. It helps us cultivate empathy and understanding. In giving, we receive so much more. We receive joy, fulfillment, and a sense of purpose. As we come to the close of our journey together, let us take a moment to reflect on the path we've traversed. We've explored the rich tapestry of life, understanding that we can't please everyone, embracing individual differences, the power of authenticity, setting boundaries, the art of compromise, cultivating self-approval, and dealing with criticism. Each of these aspects, like individual threads, weaves into the fabric of our lives, creating a unique pattern that tells our story. Embracing your path is about recognizing and celebrating this unique journey you're on. It's about understanding that your path, with all its twists and turns, ups and downs, is uniquely yours. It's a path that's meant to be walked not with fear or hesitation, but with courage, determination, and a sense of adventure. Remember, life is not a straight line. It's a complex and beautiful journey filled with opportunities for learning and growth. Along the way, you'll encounter challenges and obstacles, but these are not signs to turn back. They are opportunities to grow stronger, to learn, and to forge ahead with even greater resolve. Embracing your path also means being true to yourself. It's about not letting the noise of the world drown out your own voice. It's about making choices that resonate with your deepest values and aspirations, even if they go against the grain. In a world that often pressures us to conform, to fit into predefined molds, daring to walk your own path is a powerful act of defiance and self-affirmation. This journey of embracing your path is also a balance. It's about finding harmony between your dreams and reality, your strengths and weaknesses, your ambitions and your need for rest and rejuvenation. It's about knowing when to push forward and when to pause, when to stand firm and when to adapt. As you continue on your path, remember to celebrate your victories, no matter how small. Each step forward, each obstacle overcome, is a testament to your strength and resilience. These victories are not just achievements. They're milestones that mark your progress on this journey of life. It's also important to remember that you're not walking this path alone. Along the way, you'll meet fellow travelers, friends, mentors, loved ones, who will walk with you, support you, and sometimes challenge you. These relationships are precious. They add richness and color to your journey. Cherish them, learn from them, and be open to the wisdom they offer. And as you embrace your path, be open to change. Life is dynamic, constantly evolving, and so are you. Be willing to reassess, to adapt, and to grow. Your path is not set in stone. It's a living, breathing journey that evolves as you do. So, as we part ways, I encourage you to walk your path with your head held high, your heart open, and your spirit undaunted. Embrace the adventure of life with all its uncertainties and possibilities. Remember, your path is a beautiful, one-of-a-kind journey, a journey that's worth every step. Go forth with confidence and enthusiasm, and make your journey a story worth telling.